our way to go to Stonehenge, and we already forgot my gloves, so I gotta go back to the room and get those, because I'm not about to have cold hands. No cold hands. So after we're getting the gloves, going back for those, we get down to the station and they're closed.
You can't see it. There's literally a gate across it. I didn't even know they could do that. I couldn't get the boxes out late at night.
Where you at? There you are. But yeah, so it's closed. They open in like a half hour. We don't have that time.
The bus to Canary Wharf.
So we have to take buses. Buses. And then get over there. Fun times.
What letter is this?
Too early for this. Too early. Okay, so now we're at Canary Wharf, waiting for the Jubilee station. And yet again, another closed station.
This is what happens when they close it apparently.
So what happens when you try to travel on a Sunday?
Yeah. It is normally open at like 5:30. This is good to know.
Don't leave on Sundays.
It should be okay though. Once the station's open.
Hopefully. So, after going to the wrong spot and having to run over here to make it on time, we got food and we're here.
Yes we are.
Very good.
I had a really bullshit Russian guide here last time I was at Stonehenge.
Okay, way.
Wasn't it last summer?
We are traveling.
When was it last?
We're about an hour or so from Stonehenge.
On Wednesday, actually, on the 2nd.
Yeah, an hour away.
It's formed by these huge stones of the 25 trilithons. Those are stones 2 upright with a plinth on the top. And these were then formed another circle with 5 inside them. And these were made from local Marlborough sandstone. Now what we're going to do is park up the coach to the right hand side, and I'm going to walk you in. There are headsets available, audio guides, which I suggest that you take. They're available in a number of languages, including Russian and Portuguese and Italian and French. Unfortunately for the Australians and the Americans, they're only available in English. The heel stone is this stone here on the left-hand side, and at the summer and winter solstice, this stone lines up through the center there, directly with the way in which the sun comes up and sets. And for the summer solstice, you get tens of thousands of people in this part of the world coming to have a look. Now there are some other groups there, but we are the first premium group, or the second premium group. Right, who went to the loo with me? Did you get a leaflet? Did you get one of these? Did you get one of these? Did you get one of these?
And this is our guide speaker thing. Tells us what's going on. Which is going to be weird because it doesn't have a headset. So there's going to be a bunch of like out of sync talking coming from these things. Fun times. Welcome to Stonehenge, folks. Sheep. A little bit closer than the ones I shot earlier. Random sheeps. All kinds of sheeps. There's some metallic sheeps over there on the road. You can't really see them because my camera's out of focus again. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. at the great angle of Stonehenge here. It's a bunch of rocks. Heather's taking pictures of that side of the rocks over there. I wonder if she knows there's another side to it. She'll find out. Alright, so this is basically the last clip of Stonehenge. We're on the way back over to the bus. It's been here for about an hour. Ground's kind of muddy. But yeah, that's Stonehenge, folks. Lots of rocks.
The zebra crossing with black and white stripes. And the teacher asked him why he was there. He said because he wanted to see a zebra crossing the road. That, you should know, ladies and gentlemen, was the highlight of Nathan's day, overtaking a horse box. Because normally the horse boxes go faster than we do. This coach is limited, not in its mental capacity, you understand, but it's limited in its speed. And that we can only drive at, how fast is it, Nathan? 62 miles an hour. Now, why 62? I'll explain to you why. And that's because some grossly overpaid, underworked bureaucrat in Brussels has decreed that we can only travel a maximum of 100 kilometers an hour, and 100 kilometers an hour is 62 miles an hour. So that's why it is. These are the people who want to ban curved bananas and who made us put 5 casters on a chair, because 4 casters on a typist chair, it would turn over too easily. Go out and get a life is what I say. So in a moment or 3, the countryside's going to change a little bit, and we're going to be away from the plain. You may have noticed the soil is changing. We're going to start to make our way towards the Cotswolds and the sort of folding, wavy type English countryside, which is very well known. Now, Nathan, can I just point out there are some speed limit signs around. Now, I know you have problems with numbers below 60, but this is a 30, that means 30. Okay, and when you come into these little villages, they have signs that say, please drive carefully. And when we leave, they say, thank you for driving carefully, except for Nathan. No, seriously, Nathan's what we call a good egg. Have you heard that expression before? A good egg? You know there's a good egg and a bad egg? The smell. And we have a couple of drivers who work for us, who Nathan and I rib mercilessly. We won't mention any names to protect the guilty, but I'm much, much the happier man that I'm with Nathan today. One of them, no names. In England we say he has more front than Dolly Parton. Are you familiar with that expression? You're not familiar with that expression? There's something I might have to explain that. Yes. You could guess, right. It's a good line. You've not heard that one before. It's a good quote. It's like this. If you had a red fire engine, he would have had a fire engine that was redder. Assume, of course, your fire engine is red. There, thank you for driving carefully, except Nathan. Okay. Gainsborough, the portrait painter, lived here. Jane Austen, the author, lived here. She wrote Persuasion and Northanger Abbey whilst living here in Bath. Beau Brummell lived here as well. He was on the dandies. He was the arbiter of good taste, who was in and who was out. Divided up into what we would call flats, but I think some of you probably call apartments. When there were single family dwellings, the servants' quarters, the day quarters, the kitchen, the scullery, the silver pantry, that sort of thing, that would be downstairs. The back, this is the largest they're going to undergo on front. Rather, I suppose quaint is the word to use, but it's not the word I actually like to use. Okay, let's come along here to one of my favourite streets in the country. I spend most of my days by live shots on the left, right. You can see the right side and go to the hospital. I told you Bath is one of my favourite cities in town. Let me show you my favourite street. Let me show you my favourite store. That.
We're still in Bath. So many things to see here. They actually had to keep the faces of the shops looking the same because it's a historical district. Hello.
You want anything?
Oh no, I'm full.
Everything's like a pound.
No, I'm full.
I think I want.
You can't take it on the thing, so you have to eat it now.
Well, I can put it in your. I can put it in the bag.
You must like pigeons. I think his jacket's cracking. One of the few places that pigeons can take refuge. The awnings on a church. Now, something interesting here. Right here in this corner. Don't know if the camera's going. Yeah, the camera picks it up right there. There is a green cable going all the way up into there, around the corner, and then all the way up. This is like a really long extension cord. I mean, really. What is the point of that? It stands out. Good thing it's on the back side. Otherwise, it'd really stand out. Oh, wait. I think it goes all the way down there. And then it goes along the wall. And then it pops out right here. And you follow that all the way down. It pops out over here. And then continues down. It's all over the place.
They banned thatched buildings in the City of London. There is one thatched building that does remain. It's right on the outskirts of the town. Now, something else about William Shakespeare. I told you he had the hots for Anne Hathaway, who was older than him. He had to have gone some way through the mud to have found her, because she actually lives in a place called Shottery, which is 4 miles from the centre of Stratford. So he had to have walked through the fields and through the country lanes to get there for his little romantic trysts. You see the buildings here on the right-hand side, almshouses again, but at the end of the white, where you see the sandstone colour, that's actually the school, the King's School. And if Shakespeare did go to school here in Stratford, that's where he went. And it's still a school today. This is the Guild Church. Now here on the right hand side, do you see where there's this bare earth? That's where Shakespeare lived. Why isn't the house there? Well, that's because of Nash. That's Nash's house. Nash was a gentleman who bought the house and the birthplace in Victorian times. And he was so fed up with people who came to his front door wanting to see where William Shakespeare lived that he committed undoubtedly one of the world's greatest acts of wanton vandalism. He had Shakespeare's home razed to the ground, destroyed, because he was fed up with people coming and knocking on his door and asking him where William Shakespeare lived and wanting to see William Shakespeare's living room. What wanton vandalism. Almost as bad as Starbucks. Now, this is the centre of Stratford-upon-Avon. We're going to go straight ahead and along Union Street. May need to breathe in, don't knock over the blonde. We're going to turn left and we come up the back of the birthplace, and then Nathan's going to drop us off in the coach park, and then I'm going to walk you through to the birthplace, okay?
We are very good for timing. We are really good for timing.
Now, we're actually going to go in back to work, but I want to show you the house on the outside.
The house Shakespeare was born in.
You will exit where it says
The
Shakespeare.
noble Brutus has told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously had Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man. So are they all honourable men. Am I to speak at Caesar's funeral? He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? Whether the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of stern stuff, but Brutus says he was ambitious. Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honourable man. Now I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you now to mourn for him? Judgment. Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart lies in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till they come back to me. There we are. So we're going to move on now. We're going to go into Much Ado About Nothing. Much Ado About Nothing basically is about two people that swear that they hate each other, and actually deep down inside they're actually deeply in love with each other. Beatrice and Benedict. As you can see, we don't have a Beatrice with us today, so we're going to be doing this in the traditional way that Shakespeare would have wanted it to be performed, with Sam playing Beatrice.
Yes, I like to call her Beatrice.
A Beatrice.
Beatrice, yeah.
So this time, Sam, the role of a woman will be played by probably a 12, 13-year-old boy. Sam without a beard. So, in this particular scene, this is the first meeting in the play between the two. They have got quite a checkered history and a lot of things to say to each other. And they do it in this scene. If Signor Leonato be her father, he will not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
But my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Or is it possible Disdain should die when she had such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Why then, is courtesy a turncoat? For 'tis certain I am loved of all ladies. Only you excepted. And I would that I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Oh, dear happiness to women, or they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humour for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loved me.
Well, may God keep your ladyship still in that mind. So some gentleman or other shall escape predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and to such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
And would my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer? But keep your ways. In God's name I've done.
You always end with the jade's trick. I know you of old. Sigh no more, ladies. Sigh no more. Men were deceivers, ever. 1 foot in city and 1 on shore. To one thing constant, never. And sigh not so, let them go. Be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. That was banter, Shakespearean style. It's very good fun. They love each other dearly. And it ends up happily with a song and a dance, as most of Shakespeare's comedies do. This is another one of Shakespeare's comedies, a very, very famous speech. And a lot of people have heard the speech, certainly the first couple of lines, but probably couldn't tell you what play it's from. And in fact, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to do the speech, and then you can have a bonus scone for whoever can tell me what play it's from. How about that? You can win some prizes here today. How exciting. All the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their exits, their entrances. One man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel, shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. Then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair, round belly, with good cape on lined, eyes severe, beard of formal cut, full of wide sores and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean slippered pantaloon, spectacles on nose, pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved. A world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big, manly voice turning again towards childish treble. Pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all ends this strange, eventful history. His second childishness, a mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. So, anyone know what play it was from? As you like it, straight in there. Would you like a scone, sir? Sure. Excuse me, we can have a bonus scone. Well done, you. Oh, you lose the scone. So there we are. Thank you very much for listening to us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you sort of got your ears ready for the experience of going through his house where, well, all of those thoughts that he managed to put so beautifully into poetry. They all started somewhere in that house listening to stories told in his mother's knee. So enjoy it. Thank you for listening. It's a safe journey home. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If you could just put the glasses on the table.
We are back in London. Can't see Greg. Yep. We're at the by Victoria Station. There's Billy Elliot. But yeah, we got back a little early, and now we're gonna head home. We're both very tired. Any last words?
No.
All right, here's the camera.